Welcome back. This is going to be P3 and M3, the practical part for BTEC AAQ IT Unit 3 website development. I've made some notes here. I'm quickly going to run through this, but if you want to skip this section, just look at the timings down below and you can skip through it. The first thing I want to say is this is my way, not the right way, as in this is not the only way to do this. You can do this any way you want within reason, once you label things, once it makes sense. The next thing I want to mention is that sizing is important. So the size that you have for your desktop, your mobile and your tablet screens or your designs are going to be important. As you probably all know, Google is your best friend, so you can always Google wireframe examples, see what they look like, and just simply design something based on those icons and those drawings that you've seen. Find any icon you want by searching wireframe, the name of the icon, so wireframe video icon, for example, and you will just see all the information that you want. I will be putting links in the description labeled. For example, I've got a few videos here which I think are useful, so I'll put the links in the description as well. And just like in the previous task, PowerPoint will work for this. PowerPoint, Word, any one of those diagramming tools will work perfectly fine. I prefer to use draw.io. It just makes my life a bit easier, but any program you choose to use is going to be perfectly fine once you design things properly, once you have a key, once you label things. And again, there's not really a wrong way to make a wireframe. It just needs to be obvious what the elements are. And again, this is not the only way. This is simply my way. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to create probably my home page first. I don't have a design in my head or anything. I'm just going to wing it at the moment. But ideally, I would suggest grab a piece of paper, sketch out what you want it to look like roughly, and then just get started. The first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making my home page, making it for desktop first. So I'm on my Google Drive account and I'm going to create a new draw.io design. So for me, I've added it already. I'm going to go to new. You can just go to draw.io, by the way. So if you simply open a new tab and type draw.io, press enter, it takes you directly there and it allows you to choose whether you want to use Google Drive, OneDrive, I think Dropbox is on there as well, and a few others. But let's move on. If I go back to this, I'm going to click on new. I'm going to click on where it says more and I'm going to go to where it says, here we go, draw.io. I'm going to click on that. It's going to pop up with a window to ask me what I want. Now, when this window pops up, you can search in the search bar here for wireframe, wireframe, one single word. You press enter, you're going to be greeted with a few options. So I'm going to open, I don't know, this one over here. I'm going to click on create, then save. I'm going to show you what this looks like. So this could be a good starting point. I would recommend, if you're not sure what to do, open all three of them. When I just showed you one there that had 3 templates on there, open all 3 of them. And that way you can even copy and paste, steal ideas from ones, as in this here would most likely be an image or a video. So copy and paste this into the one that you want to create. What I've done here is I've opened template number 1, template number 2 or 3, I think. I'm going to create another one and open template number 3, then do my own document. And what I'm going to be doing, as I said before, is simply copying and pasting stuff across. That's perfectly allowed. You can create all these shapes by yourself, but if it's already there and you don't need to create everything from scratch, then I wouldn't recommend creating everything from scratch, but the choice is entirely yours. So here we are. From the templates, I've got 3 wireframe templates already created. So from here on out, there's not much I need to do other than copy and paste things across based on what I need. So this is template number 1. This is template number 2. I'll be zooming in and out to make sure that I can show as much as possible. And this one here is going to be template number 3. So based on just these templates here, I can probably copy and paste stuff across to create my entire first web page, which is going to be the home page for me. So I'm going to go back to Google Drive now quickly. I'm going to click on new again. I'm going to go down to more again. I'm going to choose draw.io one more time. And in this one, I'm going to choose a blank diagram. I'm going to call this one desktop homepage, or call it homepage, then desktop. I'm going to click on create, click on save. And this is exactly what a blank template looks like. You can zoom in and out. To zoom in, you press and hold control on your keyboard and you scroll the mouse wheel forward or up. To zoom out, you press and hold control again and you scroll the mouse wheel down or back. To move the actual page across, you click the mouse wheel. So your mouse wheel, the thing you use to scroll up and down, you simply click it down, hold it and drag it around the screen. This is what the Rons Tech Hub website looks like. And this is probably a Z pattern. So it goes from left over here where my logo is to the right. And then you kind of bring your eyes down to where the content is at the bottom. And then you read across again. So that's a Z pattern. What I'm going to be doing on here is just simply trying the F pattern instead, which means that I'm going to start at the top here, go across, come back to this part, come down and have a tiny stick here. I don't have a rigid design in my head already. I'm simply going to wing this and see how well it turns out. All right, so I think I've done most of the work I want to do for now on the homepage, and this is the homepage for desktop. So you create a homepage for desktop, one for mobile and one for tablet. I'm probably going to skip the tablet one just because desktop and tablet look so similar. So here on the left-hand side, we have the logo. On the left-hand side here, just under that, we have the buttons. Didn't add a home button on here simply because I think most people know at this point that if you click on the logo on a website, it will take you back to the home page of the website. So this logo here is going to act as a home page. And again, you can write about that. At the very top here, I've got a story carousel. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I might remove it later on because I do have stories over here. But what you could do, what I might do is, rather than having the stories here on the right hand side, I have those same top stories, top movie, top TV show, top anime, and top game cycling through here. So we have the title instead for each one. We have the arrows left and right so we can jump ahead or go backwards. We have a search bar so users are able to actually search for an article or a game or a movie that they want to go and find. Here we have the homepage video. This is going to be essentially an introduction video to the website and what we do on the website. And here we just have some random lorem ipsum text. And again, lorem ipsum is simply random text that you can copy and paste from the internet to fill your text sections out. It's really good for designing stuff. Below that, I have the social media stuff. I might add more social media icons later on, but just as a quick wireframe design, this should be more than enough. And at the very top, I show you the width of this page as well. I've gone 1920. So this is a full HD width. It's normally 1920 by 1080 for a full HD screen, but the length or the height of the website doesn't really matter that much because normally websites can have a scroll. So because we don't care about the scroll, we only care about the width, I've only put the 1920 pixels here. So if I zoom in, you see 1920. The next one I'm going to do, I'm probably going to do the home page for the mobile now as well, so you can see the differences. Same homepage I showed you before, but now it has the mobile version. Let me start from the very top. Let me zoom in as much as I can. The very first thing we have is the 430 pixels I've decided to use. You can go and research the average pixels or what should the width of a mobile web page be, what should the width of a desktop web page be, and you can get some numbers. It doesn't have to be 430. I think it ranges from like 370 to 430, so choose a number that makes sense for you. I chose 430, the highest quality possible, just because that's it. It's going to give me nicer, sharper, brighter images depending on the quality of images I use. All right, just below that from the left hand side, I have the hamburger menu. This is the menu that you normally click on a mobile phone or tablet that brings out the buttons. So when you press on this hamburger menu here, what you will see on a mobile are, well, it should be these 4 buttons here. That's what you'll see. Right next to that, I've got the logo. And again, the logo acts as the home button as well. So once you click on the logo, it takes you back to the home page. This here is a search bar I created. This was just a rounded rectangle. So I simply added a rounded rectangle, made it more round, shrunk it, and put a search icon on the inside. Now, the really good thing about this program called draw.io is that you have a search feature here at the very top left-hand corner. For example, if I click in here and I think I typed search, all I did was type search, press enter, and it came up with all these magnifying glasses. I think for this one, I did hamburger menu. Let me just type BURGERMENU, hamburger menu, and it came up with different hamburger menus. So you do get most of the icons that you will need to make this to be fair. Under that, I have the story carousel as well. This is the same thing that was on the desktop website at the very top, and this was essentially cycle through the top movie, the top TV show, the top anime, the top game. Because the mobile website doesn't have as much real estate going across the screen, what I've chosen to do is simply to put the carousel by itself and nothing else. This video here, I might remove it, I might leave it again, but this is just trying to mimic the home page from desktop. This version is the mobile version, trying to add as much content or information on there as possible that makes sense. And under that, I have the video description of what the website is going to be about again. And finally, just below that, I have the social media icon. The next page I'm probably going to do is going to be the contact page. That's probably going to be the one that looks significantly different versus everything else. And again, the whole point of these videos is not to copy what I have, it's to learn the design skills. Obviously, it's not that deep, but the design skills that you need to create your own web page, your own wireframe. So this is the blank contact page for desktop. What I'm going to do from here is simply go to the home page I created before on desktop. I'm going to highlight every single thing. I'm not going to use everything, but just to keep the layout as it is, rather than copying one at a time, I'm going to highlight everything, copy it, Control C on your keyboard, or you can right click and go to copy. I'm going to go back to the new contact page I just created. You can either do right click and do paste, or I'm going to just do Control on my keyboard and V for Victor. That pastes everything. I'm going to leave most of this stuff in. I don't need this stuff on the right hand side because this is the contact page. The only thing I need to have here is just a contact form. I'm going to highlight all of that. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to actually move this down as well. I don't need the story carousel here, but what I will have at the very top is that contact icon, because because on my contact page here, people normally put some form of image that depicts or represents contacting them. That's what's normally on a contact page. So from here, I'm just going to move this one down slightly so it stretches across the entire section at the top just before I have the buttons and the contact form. I didn't realize this before. I just tried it and it seemed to work really well. So I might be cutting out a lot of work here as well. In the search bar, top left hand corner, I'm going to click in there and I'm going to type in FORM for form, press enter. And it actually comes up with loads and loads of different forms. So you can just move your mouse over to view them or just click on it. And if you don't want it, you can get rid of it. So these are actually contact forms that you can use on your website, which is really, really cool. So I don't have to go make this from scratch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually delete everything down here because I don't need any of this stuff. Delete that. I'm going to go choose one of these contact forms I like and just put it in instead of having to make the individual icons myself. I know this program was good, but I didn't know it was this good. I'm going to choose this one here. It does have too much. I don't need this much stuff, but what I'm going to do is simply zoom in and delete some of the stuff I don't need. So typically on a contact form, you have some contact details on the left hand side or the right hand side, and then you have name, email, and message button. So I'm going to try to mimic this as closely as I can for this website. So if I go back, probably I'll move some of this stuff across to the right hand side because I have a really wide page. I don't need all of this on there, so I'm going to move this across. You can have yours at the bottom, you can have it at the top and have the email stuff under the bottom. You can have it any way you want. It's your website, you get to decide. I'm going to drag this to the right hand side just so it's just there, because some people, they just want to click on the email thing to be able to send an email quickly. Some people prefer to use the contact form on a website. Whichever way you choose to do it, that's fine. Even though I'm doing this here, later on I might decide actually I don't like this way because of this reason, and because if someone does want to contact us and they want to use a website contact form, it might make sense for that to be center, so as soon as the web page loads, it goes straight to it. Right, so this is the contact page for the desktop version completed, and very similar to what we had for the home page. Again, I have the size at the top, so that's the amount of pixels, how wide it's going to be. I've got my logo here. I have a contact picture here just because on my website that's what I have, but you don't need to put that in. I put it in just because. Please ensure that whatever decisions you make for the website, you can justify it and explain how it's going to be useful or why this feature might be a benefit to the client. On the left hand side, I still have all the buttons, so these buttons are going to be on every single page so that users can jump around the website easily without having to go to a menu to jump back to different pages. Just to the right of that, even though this looks very messy at the moment, this is going to be the contact details. So on my website, again, I've got one email here. That's my normal Gmail that's linked to my YouTube. I have a personal one, which I have under a domain, and I have the address as just UK for now. On here, more or less the same thing. Email us, call us, visit us, and these are the icons that I would use. You don't have to use these icons. You could literally just use a rectangle or a square and label this as the email us icon, and this is perfectly okay as well. I'm just doing this just because it doesn't have any color and it's added at the last minute. I might as well add some color in. But call us as well, visit us, and on the right hand side, this is where I have the typical form thing where you have your email and it has some pre-filled in stuff, and once you click in here, it will get rid of those details. Same thing for your name, same thing for subject, and down here the lorem ipsum text. Once you finish typing your message, this is where you click submit, and that's it, it goes off.